Choi Jong-in. Why is the leader of the hunters here? Sure enough, Choi Jong-in felt the gazes of the crowd and lightly tidied up his suit, before walking straight towards Jinwoo. But isn't this too fast for him to get here after receiving an alert? No, wait a minute. Did he already sign up with the hunters? Did the hunters know about him? Well, the top guild sure operates on another level. Scouts present all readily accepted the inevitable conclusion to come. Perhaps it was a relief that none of them stepped forward and tried to chat up the youth. How embarrassing would it have been when one of them started yapping on and ended up running into Choi Jong-in instead. Jinwoo was breathing a sigh of relief at the grand entrance of Choi Jong-in. What a relief. He was pondering what to do next after being stared at by so many pairs of eyes. But what a wonderful timing it was, that man walking in and dividing the attention. Jinwoo inwardly thanked Choi Jong-in for providing some unexpected help. Choi Jong-in's eyes gleamed brightly as he stared into Jinwoo's face. This man's the 10th. Choi Jong-in beat around the bush with Chief Park about checking out the situation together or some such. But the truth was, he already had sensed what was happening before coming here. I mean, they've been yapping on so loudly about impossible to measure this in device era that, so how can I not hear them? Thanks to that, though, he was given a huge opportunity here. Choi Jong-in cleared his throat and formed his trademark smile. I'm Choi Jong-in, the leader of the Hunters Guild. Of course, Jinwoo knew that already. Well, that man's face could be seen frequently enough whenever a TV was turned on. After all, I'm aware that you just had your awakened rank evaluation. Yes, by any chance, have you thought of a guild to join? I'd like to speak to you regarding that issue, so can you spare a minute to talk, please? Sorry, but don't have the time. Jinwoo quickly voiced his refusal and hurriedly left the Block B building. It happened so fast that Choi Jong-in didn't even have the chance to think about stopping the youth from leaving. Meanwhile, the association employees and the scouts from other guilds belatedly realized what had transpired and began freaking out. What the hell? Wait, did Choi Jong-in get kicked to the curb? No matter who sees it, he was ignored. Mutter, mutter. The waiting room became very noisy all of a sudden. Choi Jong-in did his best to maintain his calm and looked to his side. Chief Park. Yes, Chief Park replied with an awkward look on his face. Did I make a mistake during my introduction? I wonder. I'm not sure. Obviously, Chief Park heard everything as he was standing to the side. Still, this wasn't the right time to say that out loud, no. When Chief Park shut his mouth, Choi Jong-in sheepishly scratched the side of his head. Was I too careless with my approach? Still, there was no reason to feel disappointed here. Without a doubt, he was one step ahead of other guilds. I'm the only one who knows about the appearance of the new rank S. The remeasurement was scheduled for 3 days later. There was still some time left until the official announcement. Before that, though, I gotta find another opportunity to talk to him, no matter what. While Choi Jong-in began pondering his options, he spotted someone else hurriedly running towards the building. Wait, isn't he? Now that was definitely a familiar face. When that man pushed open the glass door and entered, Choi Jong-in spoke up with a surprised expression on his face. Chairman Beek, what are you? Beek Yun-ho's eyes also widened after recognizing Choi Jong-in. Master Choi. Choi Jong-in quickly deciphered Beek Yun-ho's expression. It's like, he knows he's been busted. It was not very likely that he came running after an informant rang him up just now. No, the time of his arrival didn't make sense if that was the case. I mean, the distance between the White Tiger Guild offices and the Hunter Association is great, so. That's right, Beek Yun-ho knew from the get-go. He had prior knowledge regarding what would happen here, meaning, he knows about the existence of that man already. But that couldn't be. If so, he'd never let that man go through the reassignment test in this fashion. If it were me, I'd make him sign the contract first and then let him take the test. It was here that the scattered puzzle pieces in Choi Jong-in's head began falling into their respective places. No way. Could it be? The White Tiger Guild. The incident during their training. The Red Gate. The mystery helper. And then, the newly appeared rank S awakened. The White Tiger must have received help from someone they don't want others to know about. Found him. So, it was that man, huh? Choi Jong-in didn't say anything else and relaxedly walked past Beek Yun-ho. Meanwhile, Beek Yun-ho took a look around. He couldn't spot Jinwoo anywhere. Am I too late? Beek Yun-ho could only look on at the distancing back of Choi Jong-in and softly sigh. Who knew that the Master of Hunters Guild would be at the Hunters Association? Beek Yun-ho scratched the back of his head and muttered to himself. Things just got complicated. The visiting hours of the Seoul's Ilshin Hospital ended at 8 in the evening. Are you the guardian of the patient Park Kyeong-hai? That's correct. You can go and see her. Are you aware of the visiting hours cutoff time? Yes, I'm aware. Finishing his chat by the nursing station, Jinwoo quickly walked to the patient ward his mother was in. Thanks to his hurried steps, he arrived there not too long afterwards. Jinwoo opened the door and entered the ward, and quietly sat down on the chair next to the bed his mother was lying in. She seemed to be in a deep slumber. With her like this, it's like she'd wake up at any moment now. A slumber that no one could wake up from. It was a new type of illness that appeared with the advent of the gates. I heard from someone that this hospital alone has over 10 patients suffering the same illness. I'll save you. Mom did her best to stabilize the family when his father went missing, even though she never enjoyed robust health. Ending his definitely not short visit, Jinwoo wordlessly walked out of the ward and carefully closed the door behind him. And when he turned around to leave, he got to spot a familiar face standing in the corridor. On that day, it was you who killed the monsters in the dual dungeon, wasn't it? A low and thick, manly voice, sharp, scary eyebrows. He was none other than Wu Jinqiao from the monitoring division. Jinwoo didn't reply. There was no reason to, nor did he particularly feel like it, either. Instead, there was something else he wanted to ask. How did you find out that I was here? I tried to guess the places you might head off to. I called the hospital and they informed me of your presence here. The association was paying for Mom's hospital fees, after all. Well, that's going to change soon. Did you seek me out just to ask me about that day's events? No, I did not. Well, then, how can I help you? There is someone who'd like to speak to you. Would you mind accompanying me for a little while? Is that an order? No. He then deeply bowed his head, his voice sounding much more serious than before. I'd like to ask you for this favor. Jinwoo didn't expect Wu Jinqiao, with his fearsome countenance and all, to assume that kind of attitude. Jinwoo pondered a little, before deciding to find out who wanted to meet him first. Who wants to talk to me? It's the president of the Hunters Association, Go Gun Huey. Wu Jinqiao then pointed towards the corner behind him and spoke. The association president is currently here. The heaven above heaven. The S-rank hunter Go Gun Huey, also known as the sky above the sky. After discovering Jinwoo, Go Gun Huey stood up from the seat. You must be Xiang Jinwoo Hunter Nim. He might be over 80 years old, but his physique was still quite amazing. Indeed, his size reminded one of either a retired pro wrestler or a traditional grappler. However, he didn't emit any of the overbearing aura one might expect from someone like that. That's surprising. Judged from his appearance or his station, Jinwoo expected him to be a bit of douche, a stuck-up of sorts, yet the entourage accompanying that man carried scarier expressions instead. Jinwoo inadvertently caught the glimpse of a golden badge pinned to Go Gun Huey's jacket. This man currently served as a member of the National Assembly, and at the same time, as the president of the association as well. And a rank S awakened on top of that, too. I'd like to congratulate you on becoming the newest rank S hunter. Jinwoo tilted his head. But the result of the reassignment test hasn't come out yet. Go Gun Huey shook his head immediately. Actually, the test itself does not have much of a meaning. Excuse me. While Jinwoo formed a confused expression, Go Gun Huey was forming a gentle smile. The truth is, the so-called precision measuring device is used to draw a finer line on the level of one's powers. It's not designed to sense something that already has exceeded the scope of other devices' measuring capability. Then, how come? Do you wish to ask me why we created another process called reevaluation? Indeed, he did want to ask that. If the end results were going to be the same, then why go through yet another cumbersome process? Go Gun Huey answered in rather a straightforward manner. It's because we were looking for a grace period. A grace period. Even before Jinwoo could ask what he meant by that, Go Gun Huey spoke up first, looking somewhat embarrassed. It's to create an opportunity where we can meet and speak to someone like you, Xiang Jinwoo Hunter Nim. Listening to the association president, Jinwoo finally figured it out. As you may well know, there aren't that many excellent hunters in the association. Like Division Chief Wu Jinqiao here, compared to our size. That was because of large guilds, and that's because of the large guilds. But, of course, Jinwoo nodded his head. Signing up with a large guild guarantees you fat salaries and fame, so who would want to come and work for the association? The salaries for the association's hunters weren't small by any means. But then again, when compared to what one could potentially be earning by working for large guilds, the salary was pitifully pathetic. And so, we came up with a plan in case a truly exceptional awakened decides to visit the association. So, that would be the re-evaluation test, then. Well, sure, if the result of the evaluation was publicly made available, and was spread everywhere, would the association have the chance to make an approach like this? It certainly made sense. I won't beat around the bush and get to the point. We're not a corporation, so we can't promise you lots of money. However, Go Gun Huey touched his chest area, before extending his fist that was gripping onto something. However, we can help you in a different way. I don't quite understand. What I'm saying here is that we can help guide you, Xiang Jinwoo Hunter Nim, down a very different direction. His clenched fist slowly unfurled. On Go Gun Huey's palm, a golden badge gleamed brightly. Political power, is it? Even after that, Jinwoo maintained a suspicious expression. You know about the 5 guilds, yes. How could anyone not know of them? Jin-Woo silently nodded his head. Currently, you'll find that in South Korea, the heads of 5 large dragons are locked in a delicate balance. Around the capital, the Hunters, the White Tiger, and the Reapers. And in the countryside, the Shining Star and the Night Order. If you decide to enter one of the 5 guilds, doesn't matter which one, the delicate balance will shatter and everything will change. Even now, the status and authority of large guilds were soaring into high heavens. However, what if one of them managed to sign up another rank S hunter, and used it as the springboard to soar even higher? Would they listen to the association anymore? The association's sole role was to remain as the center of the balance among the hunters by using power. It is simply far too inadequate to control, and tie down hunters with laws and regulations and the threat of prosecution. Jin-Woo too thought like that before. Monsters found in dungeons weren't the only monsters out there. Hunters were also, in a way, monsters. If one were to look only at the strength aspect, then hunters were far more dangerous monsters than regular monsters found in dungeons. That is why the association exists. Go-Gun Huey's expression became far more grave. And the association needs your help, Seong Jin-Woo Hunter Nim. For the first time in a long while, Go-Gun Huey was feeling nervous and expectant at the same time, as he asked the next question in a soft but firm voice. What will you choose, Hunter Nim? That wasn't a bad suggestion. If Go-Gun Huey were to lend his support, then even the most average guy would be on the fast track to success. The National Assembly, the government, the Hunters Association, and even the mass media. Too, it'd be very hard to find a sector that Go-Gun Huey's reach did not extend to. Not only that, if the person receiving that support just so happened to a rank S hunter, I can't even imagine how far a person like that would climb up. All of a sudden, Jin-Woo pictured himself sitting right next to the member of National Assembly Go-Gun Huey while kitted out in a super dope designer business suit. His heart palpitated ever so slightly. Such an opportunity wouldn't come knocking every day, right? However, there was one important thing missing from that scenario. If I sign up with the association, I won't be able to increase my level. The higher-ranked hunters working for the association never participated in raids at all. Their main role was to deal with other hunters, not to hunt down and kill monsters. Jin-Woo eventually opened his mouth. "I'm sorry." Go-Gun Huey's expression hardened immediately. "I thought I saw determination fill up his face just now. Was I mistaken?" He couldn't hide the disappointment in his face. In the end, the ambition of the man named Seong Jin-Woo was only about this much. Go-Gun Huey wasn't lying about lending support for the other path. Actually, he was thinking of something even greater. A new rank S to appear in 2 years. Go-Gun Huey was thinking of keeping this youth close and teaching him the ropes, and if the kid showed promise, groom him to become the next successor. Because a powerful figure was needed to support the association when he was gone. Meaning, Go-Gun Huey was planning to hand over everything he had. However, for the result to be like this, how laughable I am. Go-Gun Huey took away the golden badge and asked in a dejected voice, "Is it because of money?" Jin-Woo replied right away, "No, it is not. I want to fight." Jin-Woo's unhesitating reply smacked the back of Go-Gun Huey's head. What did he say? It definitely felt like he got sucker punched just now. Did you mean that you want to fight against the monsters? That's correct. Jin-Woo didn't bother with unnecessary explanations and spoke frankly. I want to enter gates and hunt down monsters. I believe the place I belong is inside dungeons. How can this be? Go-Gun Huey's eyes widened. A man like him standing on top of many others knew whether someone was telling the truth or lying through their teeth simply from the light emitting from their eyes. The position he occupied could only be reached by possessing such a skill, after all. That was why Go-Gun Huey knew it. Those eyes. He's being dead serious. Go-Gun Huey's own eyes staring at Jin-Woo did a 180. How long has it been since I felt this? By the time Go-Gun Huey had awakened, his body was already too old. That was why, instead of fighting against monsters, he looked for other things he could do instead. By using the money he got from selling his company, he established the Korean Hunters Association, gathered hunters, and with his fame serving as the foundation, he marched straight into the National Assembly, and even had a hand in creating laws that governed hunters. However, there was this lingering regret in his heart that would never go away, even though he worked tirelessly all this time. If only I was younger by 10 years, I'd been. Go-Gun Huey pressed his hand on his chest. His heart that threatened to quit at any time was pounding quickly, rather noticeably, now. My heart can still make a noise like this. The rhythmic beating of the heart felt good. On the other hand, Jin-Woo was tilting his head. Isn't this strange? He refused the suggestion of Go-Gun Huey, fully preparing himself to be at odds with the association in the process. Yet the president seemed to be happy about something. Instead, My younger sister is watching the house alone, so I should get going now. Thank you for your time. Go-Gun Huey got up along with Jinwoo and pulled something out from his inner pocket. And, please take this. It was a business card. If you require my assistance, don't hesitate and give me a call. Go-Gun Huey was smiling brightly. Phew. While letting out a sigh, Go-Gun Huey plopped down on the chair. Are you all right, sir? What an enjoyable meeting this had been, a first in such a long while. Go-Gun Huey sat there smiling for a long time, before turning to his paw and handed out an order. Clear the schedule for the rest of the day. But, sir, the meeting with the ministers. Cancel them all. Go-Gun Huey chuckled to himself. I do not wish to waste this good feeling on those small-minded idiots. He wished to retain this lingering feel-good attitude for today, at least. How about having a drink with me today? At this quite unexpected suggestion, Wu Jinxiao could only form an awkward smile. I'm not very good with holding my liquor, sir. Will that be fine with you? I didn't take you for a person like that. Go-Gun Huey playfully clicked his tongue. Haven't you heard of the old saying about the cup size of a man's drink determining the extent of the world he can make his own? My apologies, sir. Wu Jinxiao's face reddened in embarrassment and scratched the back of his head. Go-Gun Huey's gaze shifted towards the end of the corridor that Jinwoo had disappeared to. Hunter Xiang Jinwoo. How well would he be able to hold his liquor? Thinking that he'd like to find out someday, a thin smile formed on Go-Gun Huey's lips. I came running because you said you'd buy me a meal, but it's just some measly pork belly. Huh? Are you looking down on the mighty pork belly now? This place is where my great memory of me and my Hyung Nim was created, you know. Yu Jinho and his deeply reddened face put the empty shot glass of alcohol down on the table and snorted out in drunkenness. Okay, so why did you bring me to this place of such a wonderful memory? Yu Su Hyan formed a flabbergasted expression. She was getting ready to sleep, but Yu Jinho called her out of the blue. Nuna, please console me. Please. Why Nuna all of a sudden? She found his tearful whimpering rather desperate and pitiful, so she hurriedly came out to meet him. But to think, the place he brought her to was a diner. It was only obvious for Yu Su Hyan to be less than impressed by her current situation, when considering the fact that she grew up as a refined lady of a Keeball's family, and also from the fact that she was working as a top model nowadays. What's going on? Will you just speak up? Yu Su Hyan asked while pouring more soju in Yu Jinho's empty shot glass. Look at this. This is the phone number of my dear Hyung Nim. Right. Still sounding tearful, Yu Jinho pushed forward his smartphone. On the screen, one could see the lengthy list of calls, 1 successful call, and 4 failed attempts. Even then, the first one that got through was apparently cut short in the middle, too. Wait, did you call me out here because you couldn't reach someone you know on the phone? Nod. Gimme that. She quickly tapped on the call icon. Ring. The ringtone got cut off a short while later. When that happened, Yu Su Hyan began glaring at him. Hey, you dumba S. Hey? Yu Jinho raised his head from the table. The ringtone cuts out after 15 seconds. That guy is not avoiding answering you. It's just that his phone's been switched off. By the way, just who is this Hyung Nim guy? You'll find out soon enough. After signing up with the Yujin Guild, that is. Yu Jinho was about to say those words out loud, but then his eyes widened slightly after seeing the footage being shown on the TV mounted high up on the diner's wall. Isn't that guy? Yu Su Hyan also turned her gaze towards the TV. Well, my filming schedule hasn't been cleared yet. We'll only know after my evaluation result comes out. The ticker tape on the bottom of the screen said that Ri Min Seong was planning to stop by the Hunters Association soon and take his rank assignment test. Wowzers. As expected of the star of the Korean wave, Ri Min Seong. Look at the number of reporters there. Aren't those guys from the Chinese media? How can that guy lie so boldly in front of so many people? Hey, everyone who's in the know all know it already. That's all just a show. He already has been ranked A, you know. He's just playing it up for the cameras because he wants to be the talk of the town. He's putting on an act. The difference in his personality between when the cameras were around and when they were not was, as the kids like to say nowadays, the fourth-dimensional wall that no one could cross. That was the type of person Yu Su Hyan detested the most. Not too long ago, he called her up totally out of the blue and started his SH tick while saying something about being a hunter like her. She had to go through a ringer trying to end that call. What an unpleasant bastard. Even before he had awakened, he was infamous for his incredible arrogance, but now that he was about to become a rank A hunter, how bad would it get now? There were 2 more days to the reassignment test. He decided to gather more information on the artifact trade during this time period, so he switched on his computer. As he browsed through the available information on the auction goods, Jin Woo's eyes grew wider and wider. The minimum starts in the hundreds of millions. Was that all? Items that looked okay to his eyes commanded an average of several dozen billion. Then again, to hunters, good equipment was like their lifeline. There was no need to even mention the obvious fact that using better, more expensive equipment made you safer. Most hunters made quite a bit of coin, and when given the chance to buy tools that would allow them to hunt faster and safer, was there a reason for them to hold back with their money? Jinwoo could understand it. Indeed, he could. But that didn't change the fact that he was taken greatly by surprise. Seeing the pricing of various artifacts, he was getting more nervous by the minute. I don't think it'll be enough with what I have in the bank. He didn't find a defensive artifact designed to defend against flame-type damage, but it looked increasingly likely that the amount he had would not be enough to buy high-grade defensive equipment at all. And I thought that I had enough money now. That opinion was from the perspective of a normal person. As a hunter, it fell far, far too short. He had around 1.7 billion won saved up in the bank. If he were to purchase artifacts he wanted, he definitely had to sell the bead of avarice. Now that he was the seller, Jinwoo's expression rapidly changed. Needing a lot of money to buy an artifact means that I can sell my own artifact at a sky-high price. Click. He moved the mouse and continued to search until the list of the magical tools currently on sale appeared on the monitor. No matter how hard he searched, he could not find a single artifact that doubled the magic damage. These prices for the magic tools are no laughing matter, aren't they? When he thought about it, though, the boost of 20% was not small at all.